Jersey Alternative Medicine, anti-aging, hormone replacement. Do you have trouble losing weight? You have trouble with your sex drive? You have trouble with your energy levels? Jersey Alternative Medicine. Give them a call, 609-977-2981. That's 609-977-2981, NJALTMEDS.com, all under the supervision of a physician. And we are nationwide. Jersey Alternative Medicine. Give them a call.
Are you struggling with hair loss? Well, before you give up and start rocking that bald look, get yourself a box of Novaxidil. It's the only clinically proven triple action hair loss treatment on the market. It has 5% minoxidil, which is the gold standard for regrowth. But minoxidil alone will not prevent further loss. For that, Novaxidil uses DHT blocker ketoconazole with added nicotinamide, vitamin K, biotin, and collagen peptides. Basically, every single ingredient you could possibly think of in one product. So stop rubbing peppermint oil behind your ears and get something that works. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Novaxidil.
All right, here we are. Anyway, look what I'm drinking out of. Look what I'm drinking out of, bro.
Look at that. Old school.
This is like my favorite mixer. And I bought one from Joey Stacks. He uses the same type.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Luke. There's everybody. Okay. Oh shit. Anyway.
What's up, Dorian?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, fellas? Dorian, you look fucking bigger than last time. Jesus Christ, man.
Going every week.
Holy shit.
Well,
Luke, what's up, Luke?
Snacks. What's up, Luke?
So, how you doing? How you doing, fellas?
All right, good. So, if I just have to do this plug, if you're in, let's see, if you're in the United States, anybody watching or listening, if you're in the United States, please buy supplements from I Prevail Subs, right? I'll get to yes.
I'm gonna start doing that. I need to start doing that. I haven't tried Jason's stuff out yet. I gotta try it out.
I don't know if I tried his pre-workout. This is his third pre-workout, and I'm not bullshit. I'm not saying it because he's my friend. I'm not making a dime. It is the best one yet.
Oh, you like it?
100%.
No shit.
100%. One scoop, it was perfect.
Oh.
And do you put some kind of like sodium in there or something like that?
Dude, it's got a full electrolyte panel in there.
Yeah, okay, that's what it was. I think
it's full hydration on top of the other components that add to the pre-workout. But dude, it's made for guys like us and people who are not like us, just people who want good effects.
Yeah, no, it's honestly, it was like I tasted the difference. It tastes good, and I tasted the difference. But then I was like, "Oh shit, this has some kind of like electrolyte mix in here." Because I tasted the sodium, and I was like, "All right, this is good shit." And it was a great workout, really, honestly. Mission was a little strong. Mission was like,
well, dude, that's the high stim one. I still have that. That's the high stim pre-workout. But this is more middle of the road. This is a 278 caffeine blend, time release, so it hits you nice. Good sustained energy.
Perfect. It was perfect. Armon, what's up, man? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Armon? No, not yet. Oh, there we go. His girl is getting him, teaching him.
Or
behind every great bodybuilder is a woman that needs to teach you technology. Anyway, but if you're in Europe, please, everybody out there, do me a favor. I have this opportunity. I might sound a little selfish, but I do think their products are good. If you're in Europe, there is a company called American Subs. I know, go figure. They're based out of Germany, but they're called American Subs. Okay. They are kind of giving me a chance, letting me collaborate with them, and I will be plugging, their stuff for the next, couple of months, and we're going to see how we do. So go to American Subs. It's American-supps.com. The discount code is SAS10, and they actually really have good, and everything is marketed around like America. So they have a pump product called Donald Pump, a big picture of Donald Trump all jacked up, we got an all-star cast today, man. All right, there we go.
All right.
Jensen, can you hear me? Kensen, sorry. All right. If you guys don't know, Kensen is the owner and operator of EP09, another bodybuilding podcast, and him and I have become really good friends. And he actually does something similar to Nick Strength and Power, where he gives you the news, but it's much better because he also has fucking nut jobs on like Lee Priest, and it's entertaining. So everybody just stop going to Nick Strength and Power and go to EP09. And yes, it's because he's my friend. It is what it is. I don't, Dorian is going to win the Masters Olympia because he's my friend.
Well, he's probably going to win it anyway.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Armon, can you hear me yet? Oh shit! Speaking of nut jobs, here he is.
So guys,
and Luke is gonna fucking win his next pro show, so because he's my friend. And that's it. Armon, can you hear?
And Jason made 10 million with the supplement company this year.
Right.
Prevail.
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
That's it. Armon, can you hear me now, bro?
Yeah, I can hear
Hook
you.
you up, Luke.
Thank you, Armon, for coming on. Do you know
go.
and Lee Priest?
The gang's all here.
What's up?
Hey, Luke.
All right. Armon, do you know?
Luke, put a fucking light on. I can barely see you. Jesus. Just keep
Armon,
smiling so I know where you
drive the
are.
car.
Armon, do you know the rest of the crew? I know you know me and Jay. You know Lee Priest. Dorian Haywood is the guy that looks like a house right now.
I know Dorian.
And Luke is the guy that Lee said needs to put a light on. And then there is Kensen from EP09.
Yeah, how's it going, Armon?
What are you drinking, Armon? Are you drinking good stuff like me?
Whataburger, Diet Coke.
McDonald's.
I got Whataburger.
Wow.
Look at John's got the V for vagina because you're a pussy.
All right, Lee. Just take it easy today. Holy shit. No, it's not V. It's a IP. It's I prevail subs. And there's greens in here. It's actually green.
What's this little straw doing on my table?
Dave that for Las Vegas. Kensen is coming with us.
You know, when I went to Vegas once, it was
To
so
be
funny.
determined. We'll see.
You know, when you walk over those, you know how they connect all the roads and have those overpasses in Vegas?
Yeah.
I remember when I was there last and you're walking over those things, there's like guys on each side when you walk past them, they're like, cocaine, try before you buy. And I'm thinking, now if it's got fentanyl or something, again, I could be fucked up. But then I'm thinking, if I try a bit here, then I try a bit on that side, then I try a bit down there, I could be fucked up without even having to buy the shit.
Yeah.
Just keep going around.
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit. So I finally made a purchase, Jay. I finally got the guns. I bought a 357 Magnum. Yep.
Okay.
4-inch barrel, 357 Magnum, and I bought a shotgun.
Oh, good.
Pump shotgun.
Yeah.
Range.
What kind?
The shotgun is
A Mossberg.
It is a Mossberg, actually. Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
See, John, now you're a real American, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want somebody.
But he's only got a 4-inch,
barrel, only a 4-inch barrel. That's unfortunate. Hey, listen, it could have been worse. I could have went with the snub nose.
Actually, do what you did with the guns and just buy a longer one, man.
Oh, yeah. Armon, you're in
anything these
Texas.
days.
You probably have a shit ton of guns in your right? You're in Texas, Armon?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas. No, I can't have guns. I'm a felon.
I forgot about that. Yeah. You're a piece of shit like the rest of us.
Yeah,
Hey, I've never been arrested. Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
I'm
Me
no
neither.
felon.
Actually.
Fuck.
You know what's funny?
I won't have a gun because I'll probably use it on people. That's the main reason I don't have one, because my biggest fear is finding out I got a terminal disease. But then I figured if I got a terminal disease, I ain't going alone. So what are people I don't like? You're on the list.
Yeah. So what's funny is
I had guns. I had guns before, but through this whole like crazy custody deal I went through, and all that's crazy deal and that made up story. I pled to some crazy charge, unfortunately, and gave up that. But I got to vote though because after 5 years of probation, you're able to vote again. So
Yeah. How does that work? Because every state is a little different, right? Or voting.
once you're off parole or probation, you can vote.
Okay. So they want you to vote, but they don't want you to fucking because like I've interviewed several felons on my other channel, like killers, like mob guys, biker guys in jail for murder. And they're all talking about how they're going to vote for Trump. And I'm like, you can't vote. You fucking did 19 years for murder. Like,
it's crazy. You can't have a gun though. I mean, to protect yourself. I mean, it's insane. Especially these days. It's ridiculous. I mean, you can get like like one of those. One of my friend, he's a felon too. He has one of those like automatic crossbows or whatever. Like someone comes to your house.
But your wife could get one, right? If she's
no, you're not. It's not allowed in the house at all. You can't have a firearm in the house at all.
Texas don't play, huh? Shit.
Why can illegals vote but felons can't vote?
I don't know if illegals can vote or not.
They can vote. I even saw it. They were counting the illegal votes. Come on.
I know.
Anything Biden got in last time. Come on.
I don't know if they can vote or not. Oh, there were certain states that you don't need ID and other states that you do need ID.
Think the illegals are voting?
So those states possibly, but I don't think honestly. Anyway, let's not get into that. Anyway, I'm at the gym today. Here's a story. Jay will like this story.
What?
So
you went to the gym?
I did. I went to the gym today, right?
Don't look like it.
And fuck yourself, Lee. Let me get the story out. I went to the gym today and I'm doing a workout and there's a cardio spot and I'm doing chest and I see this girl and she's like looking over at me, I'm like, oh shit, this girl's fucking checking me out. Like, oh, I haven't had that happen to me since that skinny girl, right?
Oh shit.
Yeah. So then I start doing I go by the stomach area. I'm doing crunches and shit. And here comes that chick, and she comes right next to me in the mirror, and she's like looking at herself, fixing her hair in the mirror. And I'm like, look at this bitch. This fucking broad wants the old fucking brajol. Look at this shit. Holy shit. Anyway, just thought I'd tell you that story.
Yeah, but did she want that, or is that just your imagination? That's what you were thinking she wants.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
She's probably like, look at this bald fat cunt over here doing abs. What are you doing abs for? He's fucking fat. Why is he wasting his time? And you're thinking, she wants to fuck me. Look at that fat baldy. Why is he wasting his time? She wants me.
You're still single. You don't want to settle down. You're still single. No kids, right? No.
Hey, I'm married. I'm just saying. I'm just saying the broad wanted to.
You're married. Oh, yeah. You're married. Okay.
I'm just saying the broad wanted to fucking. She wanted the old Italian sausage. That's all I'm saying.
Why is that? Just because she looks at you?
Yeah.
If that gets you through the day, John, you believe that, okay, mate? You go for it.
That's all it takes. Doesn't
sleep tonight?
Listen, John. Next time, next time you see her, right?
Yeah.
Here's what you. Next time you see her, right?
Yeah.
Make sure to tell her to subscribe.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's my pitch.
Like and subscribe and ring the bell.
I'm a podcast host, right? Dorian, how you doing, man?
Bell, she might take that the wrong way.
How much do you weigh now, dude?
Right way.
I've been busting through 270.
Really?
I'm really uncomfortable. I'm having a hard time eating.
You think? Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the biggest you've ever been?
No, I got up to 282 once.
Damn.
But when I get over 270, I feel like I'm gonna fucking pop. I can't even believe I got up to 282 in the past. But
how do you about it? What are you about 5'10"?
Yeah, 5'10". I'm staying pretty lean though.
Yeah,
I think with that 282, I was probably holding more body fat for sure.
How much you eating these days?
As much as I can.
Just constant till the minute you wake up till the minute you go to bed.
Yeah, and I got to admit, my appetite hasn't been that great over the past week and a half. But
I definitely get a shirt. Yeah,
at a meeting, kind of fresh up.
Get a meeting on oversized.
Who's talking in the background? What's going on? Somebody's got people in the background talking.
The kids, my wife and kids.
The family man.
This is prime time at the audience. There's the Country Music Awards going on one side, and the other one
is soccer on the other side.
Yeah, really. So go ahead, Dorian. So you're 270,
and getting all the food down has been a chore lately for sure.
But
how do you fit in that little ass car of yours, man? He just bought a new vet. How the fuck do you fit in that thing?
I've got like a strategy on how I sit in it.
Really?
Go ass first, then get your legs in. Same thing. Get out, both your feet on the ground, then you got to kind of like.
It becomes an art form. When I was 285 and had the Dodge Viper, it becomes an art form to getting in and getting out.
What do you drive, Lee? What do you have now? You have some crazy.
I just have like a normal family station wagon for running around, but now I got the military Humvee. So
a station wagon.
I thought you had some sports car not too long ago.
I sold that. I sold the Camaro and the old classic Mustang. And when I was in America, I had all the, every car possible, but my favorite was always the H1 Hummer. But I found a guy here that brings in the military one, so I got one of them and done up a bit, and I won a trophy last week with it. Carried them off at his car show, and it was cool. When I cleaned it out, I pulled up all the floorboards and shit. There's all this dirt and sand in it from, I guess, Iraq. There was all grenade pins in there. I'm thinking, what's the body count on this car, I wonder?
Yeah, you sold your cars because according to Sean Ray, you're broke, right? Was that the
I slept in a dumpster according to Sean Ray doing drugs and
Yeah, so you sold like several of your trophies and you sold your cars because you fucking got no money, you're broke.
The thing was, all my trophy money went to the animal shelters, and then because, like I said, anyone that has trophies, I've never had them out behind me. I have like awards and that if I go somewhere guest posing, you get an award, they mean something to me. But the trophies, I'm like, I kept moving places. They're always in boxes, always in storage, getting broken, and people are asking, "Do you want to sell them?" So I sold them, and some are in gyms, some are at guys' homes in the gym at home, and they send me photos going, "Your trophies really inspire us." So I figured, well, that's the best place for them than sitting in my storage shed just breaking. So I just got rid of them.
Yeah, I hear you.
That sucks. Now, what if one of your grandkids wants to see your trophies?
Well, my daughter's 33. She's got no kids yet, and fuck the grandkids. They can go win their own.
Hey, Kensen, you coming to Vegas? Armon, we're all going to Vegas the last week of June, by the way. So you are formally invited. Oh yeah, Dorian, you weren't here last time. Everybody, we're all going to Vegas the last week in June, and the plan is we're going to get real fucked up and go off to Flex Lewis's gym.
Big trouble.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. But did you talk to your wife, Kensen?
No, I did not, because I'm still afraid for my safety by going with you fucking maniacs.
Dude,
well, we need one designated sober person to be like the one to come talk to the police and bail us out. So I told John he's got to start the GoFundMe bail money right now because we're going to need a bit.
Dude, we're all old, okay? We talk a good game, but we're going to be like, remember that horse in the Bronx Tale? Mm-hmm. What was the horse in the Kryptonite? And he fucking couldn't even get out of the gate. Mm-hmm. One hard night. We'll
have one drink. I'm going to bed. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Took a big game, but ain't shit happening.
No, that's not what happened last time you went out with Dave and Greg Valentino and John and everybody. Yeah. That seminar.
That was the Long Island iced tea that the girl made extra strong. I blame her.
Well, now you got to tell us what happened, Lee.
You didn't see that video where we're going to the seminar? We had all the Long Island iced teas before the seminar.
Is that the time you mugged the hooker and lit a wig on fire?
No.
No, that was a different time.
You drink too? I don't drink. I can't drink. When I drink, I can't
drink. If I can taste,
I can't drink. I can't, man.
I get hot and angry.
Say that, Armon. Say what'd you say?
It just makes me hot and like angry, irritated. I don't feel good from alcohol at all.
Yeah, I get the same. I get like really hot flushes from alcohol, but I have to drink those foo drinks with the umbrella in, so I can't taste it. Because if I taste it,
that's the whole.
Do you feel good though, Lee? Do you get a buzz? Do you like feel euphoric or?
Not really. No. That's why.
Yeah.
When I've done like the THC oil, I'd rather eat the gummies or the brownies, and that makes me feel a bit more relaxed than that. But alcohol gives me really bad heartburn. If I have it all night, I'll be like, oh.
Yeah. I always like the GHB. Like when I was younger, we always do the GHB instead of the drinking. You know, I had a script for GHB. I had a script for GHB for like 4 years. It was called Xyrem, and they would ship it straight to your door, like 4 bottles monthly.
Oh, that's a great GHB story.
If I was going to do anything, it would have been coke. But then, as you get older, recovering from that's like even 1 or 2 grams is like,
You
let's
know,
just
I've
say
never
like
tried. I've never tried coke in my life. Because I don't even
let's
like
just say,
caffeine.
let's just say 6 months ago, I decided to think I'm not that old. I can hang. I did like 6 grams and a gram of MDMA, and I was suffering for days. Not to mention the old fella down there was beaten up because I got the massage gun out and went to town on him.
Orange has a great GHB story. Are we able to talk about that story?
Which one? Which one?
The one where you
there's
passed
so
out
many.
and shit in the girl's apartment?
No, I threw out. No, I didn't shit. I threw up.
I thought you shit in her apartment.
No. So did it used to be legal, Armon, you remember it used to be before
Yeah.
it was sold in all the,
Renutrient.
supplement stores and
Was that the blue stuff that Max Muscle used to sell in the bottle, the blue one?
it
Yeah.
had different colors. There was Invigorate,
I remember
and
that.
Regenerate, and had a bunch of different names. But back when it was legal, I used to get it in powder form. And I'm an early morning trainer, so I get up early and train, and it was great to sleep on, and I gotta look around too. So I'm dating this girl. This was years ago, when I think I was still an amateur, Um, and she wakes me up and she's like, you have anything to say for yourself? I said, well, what are you talking about? She goes, you have anything to say for yourself? And she's like fucking irritated. Like you could tell, like she was, not in the fucking mood. She goes, you don't remember what happened last night? I said, no, I have no idea what happened. Right? She goes, I pissed in her sink. That was it. So she's like, she goes, you wake up and you were stumbling all over the place. She goes, you couldn't complete a sentence. She goes, you had to go to the bathroom, so you went and pissed in the corner where my sink was. It went all over the wall. She goes, then you just started projectile. She goes, I was cleaning up vomit all night. She goes, I can't believe you don't remember this. And the crazy thing is, dude, I felt great. Like I slept awesome. I was ready to go, and I had to listen to her fucking bullshit,
Yeah.
for about an hour
What
on
a
how
complaint.
I was up throwing up all night,
She was
projectile vomiting.
Did you say stop bitching? Jesus Christ. Stop
I had a girl.
complaining.
I was at Max Muscle in Venice once, and this girl I was sort of seeing. Her name was April Moore. I think she's still around. I think Craig Titus dated her too.
I remember April.
Remember April? Well, she was in
Yeah.
the store. I was there with Scott, and she's sitting in the chair just beside me. And she had that blue stuff. She never had it before. And Scott was saying, just take a little bit and try it. So she takes a capful. She's like, it tastes like shit. I said, no, if you do more, the taste, you won't taste it afterwards. She has another cap and another cap. And I'm just going, oh, shit, no. Next thing, I'm sitting there talking to Scott. These tourists come in. Oh, hi, Lee Chris, how you going? I'm like, good. As I'm talking to them, she starts chirping like a bird. Chirp, 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 chirp. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm talking to them. Next thing, her head hits my shoulder. I'm like, you okay? Chirp, chirp, chirp. I'm trying to talk to these tourists. Next thing, sitting on the plastic chair, I hear this noise. I look down. She's pissing herself in the store. Just pissing. I'm like, so now I'm trying to hold her up while I'm talking to these tourists. I'm thinking this isn't a good look right now, but finally
This
got
sounds
her
like
into the bathroom. And
this sounds like a great drug to try, Armon. This sounds.
I've learned never give it to girl. Every girl I've hung out with or partied, you tell them to take I've had horrible G stories with girls. Just take one. Hey, go to the bathroom. Just take one cap. You come back. I'm like, you should take one cap. Well, I'm like, and then I'm like, I used to put in like the 5-hour energy bottles, and I'm like, why is half the bottle missing? She goes, oh, I don't know. And I mean, there's several stories. I mean, one time I went, this girl I was training, I was friends with her. She was like, hey, I was like, I'm going to see Trap tonight. She goes, oh, I love Trap. Can I come? I'm like, sure, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. So she came with my friend. We picked her up. And in the car, me and my friend took a couple caps. This was, 10 plus years ago. And she was like, what's that? I'm like, don't worry about it. She's like, no, what's that? I'm like, she's like this little innocent girl. She's like, yeah, I'm like, it's something called GHB. She goes, oh, I want to try. I'm like, you don't even drink. What do you mean you want to try? Like, it's not for you. You don't want to try this. She's like, no, I want to try it. She goes, please, all right, let me try. I'm like, okay. And I was like, a horrible idea. So we go to the bathroom at Trees, and Trees is like this place in Deep Ellum. All the rock bands have been through here, through all the grunge rock bands over the years, from Nirvana to whatever. And So she goes to the bathroom and I'm like, the caps are a little bigger. So I'm like, take half a cap. And she goes, okay. So she goes to the bathroom, comes back, and she's already like white. She doesn't look good. And I'm like, did you take a cap? She goes, well, I poured a little too much. So I'm like, so you took a full cap? Because she's like, well, it's like, I'm like, there's either half a cap or full cap because that's how the cap is. And she's like, and then I'm like, oh shit. And then she's like 2 minutes later, she goes, Armon, can you give me some water? I'm like, oh shit, here we go. This girl's gonna G out. And so I go get her some water, and then she's like, I don't feel so good. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So she goes to the bathroom, she's in there, and in the stall for a long time. So I'm getting worried. So me and my friend are like outside the bathroom, like kind of looking in and this and that. And I think she was like 20 years old. So she had to get an X on her hand because she couldn't drink. And so, I wasn't attracted to this girl or anything. She's just a friend that wanted to come out with us. And so I was looking in there. And so this girl comes out and she's talking shit to me. She's like, you're such a scumbag, get an underage girl messed up to get with her. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. And her boyfriend's like literally 7'1". And I'm like,
Jesus.
dude, like, and I was like, dude, tell your girl to shut the I'm like F up. He goes, bro, she has a mind of her own. And so this girl apparently shits her pants in there, throws up, and then finally she comes out, and I guess she passed out on the toilet like this because the X is on her head.
Oh
and I'm
shit.
like, oh my gosh, up to the bar. And so Trav's about to come on, and my friend's like, dude, what are we going to do with her? She's still not okay. Let's put her in the bed of my truck. I'm like, dude, we're not putting this girl in the bed of your freaking truck. A cop comes by and a girl's in the bed of your truck. Like, we're getting arrested. And I was like, put her in the back seat and I'll sit in the car with her until the band comes on. And she was perfectly fine. And then after that, I was like, I'm never letting any person try this again. It's just such a dangerous, supplement, compound, drug, or whatever you want to call it.
So Kensen, we're doing GHB when we go to Las Vegas.
And isn't it the shittiest thing too when you've had it and it's coming on, you've had too much and it starts feeling shit and it's going to get worse and you just got to hang on for the ride.
and you know what's funny? Our generation will always say, man, these young kids, they do too much drugs, these young kids.
But I think it's like steroids though. I think back then, even the party drugs were more pure. I think now, because like even Coke with the fentanyl and shit, Coke back then you're getting actual good Coke. So I think even like MDMA, you can get the pills and they're mixed with shit. We get them here at parties now when they have these raves and that. Actually, the police come to these like big outdoor parties with pill testing kits. Even though it's illegal to take the drugs, they test the pills and if they're good, they give them back to you. So it's like, off you go with your little drugs.
Should we talk about bodybuilding at all today?
What's that? You're on the wrong show, mate. You're on the wrong show.
All my friends have those tester kits. They're the fentanyl tester kits. They go to those the raves and stuff like that, and they test all their stuff. And I mean, it's important because one fentanyl pill will kill you.
Yeah.
Isn't it just
fentanyl?
Like,
does fentanyl make you go to sleep or something? Does it? What is it actually?
Yeah, I mean, it's like 100 times stronger than heroin. So I mean, I don't know why they put it with stuff like cocaine because cocaine's an upper. So you're taking fentanyl and that's like a downer. So it really makes no sense,
Well, I've heard it's in a lot of heroin.
You do a line of coke, you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you, what is this? Oh, shit.
Is Luke still there or did he just take his hat off?
No, Luke is still Luke just sent me a picture of his, what's in his house. Jesus Christ.
Look at that.
That's just that. That's not everything. that's not everything.
Holy shit! I'm not breaking in your house.
Luke's
what is that?
What
is that? What is that one at the bottom? It looks like a revolver, but
that's 8 inches. It's not 4 inches.
What kind of gun? It looks like you hunt buffalo with that thing. What is it?
Yeah, John, that's a real bad.
It's a 357 38 special.
Why is the I know it's longer, but why is it like so thick and black and
that's why, because it's black, John. That's black, John. That's why.
So thick and black.
Shit. Can't explain yourself. Oh fuck. Anyway. All right. Does anybody give a shit about Hani Ramrod retiring?
Very sad.
Yeah, I would say Derek and
Next.
Hottie probably do. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah. What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
They're not on the
Have
same
to
team
have
anymore.
to fend for themselves, them little darlings.
Oh yeah. Who do you think is gonna train Derek now?
Isn't everyone, a lot of people going to Stefan, whoever, like Stefan's the newest thing lately, I think.
Yeah, he's like the hot guy now. Everybody's jumping over on him. You know,
Well,
it
that's just it.
Arn's always
There's
good.
I
Good, Kensen.
was just gonna say there's too many guys going to Stefan. I don't think he'll take on many more. I know he says he's a machine and that he'll, keep working and he's a workaholic and everything like that. That's fine, but everybody has their limits, and he had 17 Olympians, and now he's going to have more going in. Regan Grimes is coached by him too. There's so many people now. So many. I think Chris Aceto is going to go with Derek.
I could see that. I could see that.
And
Yeah.
what about Hottie?
Hottie, I have no idea what Hottie's going to.
Beer League Warriors apparel. Great clothing for the gym. Great clothing for any workout you do. It's that dry fit that everybody likes. Good quality, great prices. Support small business now. Don't buy from Nike or Adidas this week. Get your clothing from Beer League Warriors apparel. Just go to beerleaguewarriors.com. They have a great selection. Believe me, you won't be disappointed.
To do. I don't know, honestly.
Honestly, how do you go with anybody? Like Hottie's
There's a
got
language barrier.
I mean, there's
right?
coaches in Iran. There's coaches in Iran he can have. There's great coaches everywhere. I mean, it's not like he has to have a name coach. I mean, these elite guys, you just need someone to kind of help you along. I mean, Hani or Stefan, there's no I mean, I worked with Hani for 2 years. There's no magic secret. I mean, you just need someone to pay attention to you and, help you along the way and just be there. A lot of these coaches, they're just, giving out cookie cutter programs. You don't talk to them. You can't get a hold of them. And that's the problem, like Stefan, even he did the interview the other day and he's like, even there's no secrets. I pay attention to the guys and I check on them often. That's all you have to do. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, but Dorian and Arn's last time we talked about this brought up a really good point. And it's like, how much time can you give an athlete if you're training so many athletes?
Mm-hmm.
And Dorian said if he's training a pro, he only trains 2 pros at a time because it's he can't give that much attention to them. And Jay was saying the same thing. So what are these guys? What are these pros thinking when they just want to? Do they just want to jump on the hottest trainer at that time? And is that what it is?
I think there's some magical secret. I had 40 prep clients at one time, around 40. That was way too much. 40 prep clients, not including my, lifestyle clients. I couldn't handle it. It was way too much. I can't take on more than 20 prep clients.
And I just want people to be careful too. If you do get an Iranian coach and tell them you want to get big, say, I want to blow up, just be careful saying that.
Yeah, make sure you you don't use any cell phones or anything like that.
They give you a special backpack to take to the gym.
The problem with people trying to contact you to coach is everybody wants a drug hookup. So I don't give people drug hookups, or they want you to get them drugs. So if I have a consult with someone, the consult goes well, we click, whatever. They're like, so you can get me all my stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not a drug dealer, dude. I'd be in jail if I got my client stuff. And
that's on you.
Like, oh, okay. And so,
but isn't it funny to this day? They all think there's the secret still. There's a secret cycle. There's a secret something that's going to do it to them. It's like there isn't. I hate to break the news to people.
I would rather go with the guy with the most experience, in Aceto, Chad Nichols, George Farah, somebody who's been around forever and knows everything. There are no secrets, but there's little tweaks, and they've worked with so many different people, so many different personalities, so many bodies, that there's probably very little that they haven't seen in their 30 years of experience.
But I think we all know pretty much, training, dieting, drugs, and that. I think you really got to find someone you gel with just to maybe keep your mind and head on straight when you're dieting and you go through those phases where the head games kick in those last few weeks. You think, maybe if I try this, I'll be better, and you always fuck it up. So I always find you to get a coach who you gel with to keep you more on the track, straight and narrow. That because when it comes to the cycles and diets and that, we pretty much know what we've got to do. So you need someone just to tell you, don't overthink it.
Think of all the different personalities you have to deal with, though.
Yeah, John, that's a good point, and that's the main thing. Is it's not necessarily the personalities that the trainer or coach has to deal with. It's what it's the athlete's personality. He's got to find somebody. And just like you said, there's some people that have those personalities where I want to go with whoever everybody else is going with because that's either the cool thing or they think there's a magic trick or whatnot or the magic cycle. But the more evolved athlete, he's going to go to somebody who gives him the time, who gives him honesty, who gives him transparency, who answers his calls, right? Who gives him the right answers when he asks specific questions, and doesn't play any type of intricate games when you get close to a show where you're missing an action, you got to worry about one thing to the next. So it's really the personality of the athlete that is going to steer them in the direction of some of these coaches.
Yeah, and I think
a lot of athletes, I've gotten clients that used to work with Farah, Aceto, Chad Nichols, a lot from Chad Nichols and from Matt Jensen too. And a lot of them, they just weren't getting paid attention to. That was the main thing. And all I did was pay attention to them. And then like what I do with them, I get involved like with their personal life too. Cause it matters what's going on in their life. Like I just had a guy compete in Alaska. He competed in Texas 5 weeks prior and won, and he goes to Alaska and he's not looking good. I'm like, bro, what's going on, bro? Like, I've been coaching you for a year. What's going on? He's like, dude, me and my girlfriend arguing. I can tell, bro, your body doesn't look right. And they've been arguing the whole week of before the show, and all that stuff affects your body. And you need a coach that's going to kind of steer you in the right direction too, like what's going on with your life, like kind of give you tips and stuff. Because a lot of these younger guys, I talk to, and if I coach, just relationship advice. I mean, the girls like this. I'm like, dude, your girlfriend's cheating on you. It's like obvious. Let her go. And a lot of them, you just need guidance in that way too. And they have so much. They're not physically they might can do it, but mentally they just don't have it because they have so many other distractions in their life. And I've made so many mistakes in my life, and I like to give examples and like, hey, dude, I've been through this and I've been through that, and you want to stay away from A, B, or C, and it's going to end up a disaster. And a lot of these guys just need some guidance too, not just like, here's a diet, check in with me, here's a diet, check in with me. You need to, form a relationship with them too. But there's a fine line, because then you got some of them and they want to be your best friend. And, I have this one guy calling me 2 or 3 a.m. all the time to come party. I was like, bro, do not call me after 10 o'clock anymore. I have a family, I have kids, I don't party. I'm not coming out with you. And, he just wanted a friend to party with, and people hire you for all different kinds of reasons. I think, don't Jason and Dorian, don't y'all coach people too?
Oh yeah. And you're exactly right. Some people come to you for the wrong reasons. And I've kind of moved away from doing chiropractic as much as I used to. I'm doing more coaching now. It seems like people would get a new patient exam just like hang out with me and talk to me. And it's not what we're here to. Sorry.
A lot of people want a friend, and they'll hire you literally because they just want a friend.
I'm real selective, and because of the business, so I only have X amount of time in the day, so if I take somebody on, I want to make sure they're taken care of. And there's got to be, for me, there's got to be a purpose. There's got to be, hey, I want to try a show, and then go find somebody to try, But if this is the goal, this is what you want to do, I have no problem helping take you there or directing you. It's always personal to me. So once I get involved, it becomes, hey, now I'm a part of this, and I don't want, how you look reflects on me. So you have to get involved in the personal lives, and you have to know what's going on, because you need to know where these fluctuations change, or how their moods change, or if they're giving it 100% of the time, So, but I've just become more selective, and it's not really a business for me, because I got the supplement business, but I do take pride in it, and I don't mind handling a couple people.
Yeah, but there's nothing worse. I got out of training people, because you have those clients who
you trained people.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Jesus Christ! Holy!
But then
shit.
I got to the point where you give them something. I don't like that. It hurts. I don't want to eat that. I'm like. They were just draining me because they were just so negative, and they didn't want to do this and do that. I don't like that exercise. I'm like, well, I don't fucking like it either, but I do it. So it's like,
yeah.
And it's just like complaining. And then you give them a diet, then a week goes past, 2 weeks, hop on the scale, a kilo heavy. And I'm thinking, I've dieted, I've done cardio, I've done shows. I know that if you're following the diet doing cardio, you should be losing weight. And then they finally tell you, oh, yeah, well, I did have a couple of bottles of wine and a big bag of chips. I'm like, then why are you wasting my time? It's like,
Right.
like, you know, the diet's not working. Of course it's not. You're not following it.
Kensen, hold on, Armon. I just want Kensen's. Kensen recently interviewed Charles Griffin, and he was talking about Matt Jensen because he was trained by Matt. I saw the interview, but why don't you say, because he has a different side to the story than everybody else does with Matt. Why don't you tell what Charles said?
What Charles said was that he was actually planning on retiring with Matt Jansen until all of this went down. Charles took a number of months off of really hard training and the majority of social media because he just didn't want to deal with it. He needed to reset. When it came to the Matt Jansen thing, he was actually off, like I said, his social media break. But anyway, the thing with Matt Jansen and Charles was that Matt Jansen would give him cycles and Charles would choose not to do them. You know, he said, I'm an adult. I decided not to do it. Everything else he was good with when it came to diet, when it came to, cardio and all those other things. And he said those were the important factors, right? But when it came to the protocols, Charles was doing, I don't know how much less, but significantly less than what Matt was suggesting. And Charles basically said that the other individuals who may have been saying things about Matt Jansen's coaching or cycles or anything else, it comes down to a choice that you're making, as a professional and as an adult. Choose not to do it if you think it's too much. That's what it really came down to. But yeah, Charles is looking for a new coach as well. He's looking for somebody that he can vibe with, like everybody was saying, right? I don't know who he's going to go to, but that's very important for athletes these days. So take it from the guy that finished top 10 at the Olympia in 2023, right? He's looking for someone that he can work with as a person. That's a real big note when it comes to being a top level coach these days, or at any level.
It Charles looks like come to Lee Priest. Lee Priest will get him.
That's right. Yeah, he probably wants to
be.
Yeah. Charles looks like a very easy person to train because he's a very serious guy. You know, he doesn't look like he's going to bitch or moan at too much. And I can understand the drug protocol. If it's way too much, then you just go, I'm not doing that. It's way too much. And, I don't feel comfortable doing it.
I got a few clients from Matt before, and their drugs it was insane what they were taking.
Really?
I'm like, yeah. And I had one client had kidney failure, and he had to get actually a kidney transplant.
Whoa.
I started talking about this 2 years ago, and people were like, you're a Matt Jensen hater. You're just hating because you don't have any clients on the Olympia stage. And I'm like, literally, I'm getting clients of his, and he has them taking 1,500 milligrams of Tren a week. 1,500 milligrams of Masteron a week. And that's not okay. The guy that came to me, he wasn't even a competitive bodybuilder. He was this Iraqi guy that just wanted to be jacked. So he came to me and he showed me I'm like, you're taking all this? How long have you been taking this? He's like, about 8 months. I go, listen, come off all this, go on a TRT dose. Let's get full blood work and everything else. So he goes, okay. So about a week later, he calls me. He's like, hey, dude, I'm throwing up. I feel sick. I'm like, go to the ER. So I don't hear from him for like a couple of days, and I'm worried. So I'm texting him. So he texts me. He's like, I'm in kidney failure, but they think they can say my kidneys. They already have me on dialysis. So he was in the hospital about a month. His creatinine levels went down. And so they released him. He thought he was going to be okay. They went right back up. He had to go back to the hospital, and he had to get a kidney transplant. Luckily, he has money. Yeah, he has money. So he flew to Iraq and paid $20,000 for a kidney there. So it was probably from some freaking kid or something, someone poor family giving up a kidney. But he found a doctor. They had to pay the hospital, and he had a kidney transplant. And
how do you put your head on a pillow every night knowing that you're telling somebody to do 1,500 milligrams of Tren a week?
That's what I used to say. And the people I would get from them, I would say, listen, I don't know where to go from here because I can't tell you to take this much. And I know you're used to taking this amount, and I know you're not going to cut it in half. So I don't even think we're going to be able to work together. And that's what happened with a lot of consultations I had come from Matt. And I said, that's horrible. Like you said, how can you look yourself in the mirror telling somebody you're slowly basically killing yourself?
Well, Armon, let me ask you this. Do you think Matt Jensen ever took 1,500 milligrams of Tren a week?
Great point.
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He personally
Okay.
used
I
it?
would have said no.
Yeah, me
I think he
too.
personally did.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was
Wow.
he was
Really?
loaded up for a while. He loaded up for a while when he was bodybuilding. Remember, he tried to bodybuild for a while. He
Well,
got
it's true
pretty
then. It's
big.
true what Nick Walker said. Looking at Matt, it must be fake gear.
Yeah. No, but that baffles
I'm
me.
I'm just the idiot here. Remember, I'm just
15 Armon, if it's 1,500 milligrams of trend, what how much test or how many oral? I can only.
He was out.
Kidney.
What he started doing, because he got a bad name from giving out these bad cycles. So what he started doing
Killing people.
was he was killing people.
I
So
think that's
what happened was
a good way to get a bad name.
Yeah, really.
So he started just giving out cookie cutter plans with like baby cycles on them to like amateur guys, because he already had that name, like Matt is, and I
Right.
was telling people this for
Yeah,
2
keep
years
going,
straight.
keep going.
And like I said, people were like, "Oh, you're just hating on Matt, this and that." I'm like, literally, I'm getting clients of his, and they're showing me the cycles he has them on. I'm not lying. I'm not making this up. And I had a guy that actually had a kidney transplant. This isn't a game. And Dallas McCarver was his best friend,
yeah.
and he's advising him the whole time, what to take. And literally, your best friend passed away, and it largely had an amount to do with what he trusted in you, telling you to take this amount of stuff. And I think what he did with all his guys was, he wrote them these cycles. They trusted him, because people want to trust a coach. You should trust your coach. But when someone's telling you to take that much, you gotta like listen, like this is not okay. And I'm gonna get sick. And a lot of these guys, they burnt out or got sick. And I think Matt just finally ran away because all these guys stopped responding because their receptors are burnt because they're using so much stuff year round. And then
You
he just
become
ran away
dose
like a little.
dependent, where you don't even respond unless
Right.
you start doing that dose. But did Charles Griffin, did he tell Matt that he wasn't using those dosages?
No,
Or did he
he
just
said
go
that
along with
he
it?
said he didn't tell him. He just didn't do them.
So that's the other thing, is when you're working with a coach and he thinks you're doing this and he wants to make an adjustment, how do you adjust knowing you're not doing what he's telling you anyway? That's where there's got
You
to
know
be a
what?
level of honesty. Like, he could have been like, dude, I'm not taking this much. Restructure this. There's no need for it, and we'll take it from there. So
Like
That
without
Jason,
was one of
that,
the
there's no
questions that I
transparency.
actually. No, no, and how can a coach be expect? That was one of the questions I had for Charles. Legitimately, like, how can you expect a coach to be able to give you a proper plan if you're not following it, right? And he said to me that with his situation in particular, like, he's been doing this forever, so he knows what he needs and what he doesn't. When it came to the diet and when it came to the amount of cardio, that's where he really wanted Matt Jansen's help. So he found a combination of still making significant progress by doing his own thing when it came to the drugs and listening to Matt when it came to the food and the cardio. And for him, that worked. Now, that's not going to work for everybody, of course, right? If you're doing something beyond like everybody, whether it be food or protocols or whatever, there's probably going to be a good chance that your coach is going to be like, hey, what's going on here? This should be working. Well, I'm not doing this. Okay, well, there's the problem. With Charles, he didn't have that problem.
When people are giving out these drug cycles, like with my clients, especially compounds like Trin, which a lot of people, have bad side effects from, I ask them, like, like especially beginners, like, I'm like, hey, what do you feel comfortable with? Like, if this compound, if it's bothering you, if you start feeling like a certain way, let me know and communicate with me how you're feeling. Not just like, here, take this and this is your cycle. I want you to communicate with me. Let me know how you're feeling on what you're taking. Are you fighting with your girlfriend? Because I've had guys before who said, yeah, I beat up my girlfriend. Like, dude, if you're beating up your girlfriend, get off the trend. I mean, if that's causing you literally to beat up your girlfriend.
I don't think it's. I think
did Matt Jensen train OJ Simpson?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think if you're beating up your girlfriend, you're a jerk off to begin
Exactly.
with. And then Trent just amplifies
It might not be the
all right?
trend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But some people have really bad mental side effects from it.
Well, if you're doing that much, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I know guys in the bar, they have a couple beers and they want to fight everybody. So it's the person. It's really you get an angry person and you intensify their hormones, they're going to be an angry.
Well, does anybody here?
Person.
when we all go to Las Vegas, is anybody when they drink want to start fights? Anybody here besides Lee?
No, I don't fight.
No,
I don't
okay.
drink.
Oh, all right.
I
No,
just
no.
tell rude. I just tell rude jokes and use the cunt word a lot. So.
Okay, good. All right. So, Luke, what was the most? Because you've weighed in on this before too. Like you've said, if there's something that makes you uncomfortable, you're just not going to do it. What was the most amount of tren you've ever used for a show?
For a show, what I do, 2 cc's a week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
and
what you're supposed.
The funniest thing is because I train heavy. I train very heavy, and people DM me like, "Oh man, what is your protocol? What are you on?" And I'll tell them,
And they won't believe you.
Very angry. They say, "You fucking liar! If you didn't want to tell me, you didn't have to lie." They think that I'm doing all this shit, and I'm like, no, I just like I actually listened to when Lee Priest and all of them used to talk back in the day. He used very little. They used very little.
And that's my biggest pet. That's my biggest pet hate when I tell the truth and some other pros do. And you're telling the truth because it's like, look, I know you're going to use it. So if you're going to use it, don't abuse it. But I'm trying to tell you, if you are going to do it, you can do it safely. Well, when we say safely, 400 still might not be safe. But to me, 400 is going to be a lot better than 1,500 or 2,000. I did seminars in England. They got called a lie because they're like, Lee, what's the most test you use? I said, well, I tried 800 for a couple of weeks and felt shit. I went back to 400. I was great. But at that seminar, there's kids there. I'm taking 5 grams a week. I'm taking 2,000 a week. I'm like, 2 grams a week. I'm like, where do you put this shit and why? They go, well, you must be taking more because that's their mentality.
Yeah.
If they're taking 5 grams and they look a certain way and they look at somebody who's bigger, but if I'm taking 5 and I look like this and he's bigger, he's got to be at least on 8. That's the mentality. So it doesn't work that way. That's just stupid.
I know. What's funny, Armon, as I want you to weigh in on this, I would think it's the opposite. I would think if I'm taking there was a point where I was taking like 1,200 milligrams of testosterone when I was competing, right? And it got to the point where I was like, it's not any different from the 750 that I was taking. Yeah. So why am I taking 1,200? And I went back to 750. How do these guys not process that? How is it if I'm taking 1,200 and I look the same as 750, then I need to take 3,000? Because I was always like, if I'm doing this much and it's not progressing anything better, then why do this much? I'll go back to doing what I was doing before.
Well, they think it is. Like one of my good friends, I coached him, and with the only show he did, he won. And since I had to let him go as a client because I said, listen, dude, if we want to be friends, I can't coach you because you're not listening to me. You know, he's like one day was like, hey man, you think I should take more tests? I'm not feeling that great. I'm like, no, I think he was taking more than I was telling him to. So I was like, go do your blood work. Okay, he goes, does his blood work. His estrogen levels is like 150, and his testosterone levels was like 7,000. So this guy is taking like double or triple the testosterone I'm telling him to. I'm like, you feel bad because you're taking so much test.
That's
and
right.
You think you need to take more, and you need to cut it down to 1/4. But I've taken 1,500 milligrams of test a week, and I didn't notice 1,500 from 1,000. Honey put me on 1,500 milligrams a week of testosterone, and I didn't feel any different than when I was on 1,000. So I mean, a lot of these guys, they mentally, it's just they just take a lot, and they, no matter what you tell them, they won't listen to you. That's why I enjoy working a lot more with the beginners because you're their first coach. They're not tainted by these other coaches or someone that's telling them to done crazy stuff before, so it's really difficult to work with a lot of competitive clients these days because they're just on so much stuff already and they can't understand the concept of like, listen, you don't have to take this much. Plus you're cutting years off your life, not just years, your quality of your life,
right.
You're going to have heart issues and you're not going to be able to even train because your pulse rate's going to be so high all the time. You're going to have to be on statins and this medication. And so, I try to explain it to them, especially the younger crowd, and it just goes through one ear and out the other. They just don't want to hear it.
And the younger ones too, it's hard. Like you said, if you get someone that's done their first cycle and it's like 1,500 a test and something else, and when you say it's too much, I want you to go back to this. They can't comprehend going back to 700 from 15. I'm going to get small if I do that. It's like, no, you're not. Forget that. Get that shit out of your head. It's like, they think every cycle has got to be more. If I did 15 next time, maybe 1750, 2000. It's like, that's why I think, like when I said in the 90s, early 2000s, when we used to do it, there was no bridging, there was no cruising. I would do like 16 weeks on, do the Ironman, San Francisco, Arnold. And then if I qualified for Olympia, I'd come off for at least 3 or 4 months, nothing at all. And then when I went back on, my body would respond, because in the off season, I wouldn't take hardly any gear. I'd eat a lot of shit food. Contest time, I go clean food, add the gear. The body just responded so quick. That's why people would be like, how'd you get from this so fat down to shape? I said, the body just responded because I wasn't on it all the time.
There were guys that
won't do it.
Yeah,
there
were guys. There were guys that abused it back in the day too. Sorry, Armon.
There were some.
Yeah, because I remember Milos was on Jay Cutler's podcast, and he was talking about NASA's how much Anadrol NASA would take. I think it was like 500 milligrams a day or something like that. Something stupid, insane.
I'll take one of them. I had a mate at the gym once. He comes up and he goes, "Lee, you ever use Anadrol?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "How many do you take?" I said, "1." And even then, I lose my appetite, this and that. He goes, "Oh," he goes, "Do you think I should cut back?" I'm like, "Why?" He goes, I said, "How many are you taking?" He's like, 6 or 8 a day. And I said, "Why? You feel shit?" He goes, "I'm urinating blood." I'm like, do you really have to ask me if you need to cut back if you're urinating blood? Shouldn't that be a sign that, hey, something ain't right?
I really believe the human race is destined to be extinct, because we are just dumb as a box of shit. It's unbelievable. I'm pissing blood.
We're devolving. We're devolving backwards.
I'm pissing blood. Should I stop doing drugs? No, keep on going.
No, it's crazy, because a father comes to me and like, yeah, my son wants to talk to you. His son is fucking strong, and son is the same age as my son, 16, and his son is fucking huge. He says, "Oh, my son is breaking powerlifting records at his age and this and that." And I'm like, he wants to get on something. I said, he doesn't need anything.
16.
He doesn't need. I said, how you have this conversation with him? He doesn't need anything. I said, his testosterone should be firing off like
exactly.
What can he? 16. I said, there's nothing he can take. There's nothing. And I said, tell him he's gonna ruin his life if he takes something now.
Yeah, really.
He doesn't need anything. I said, I don't know what to tell your child. I said, he said, you can give him any recommendations. No, I can't. Yeah. There is nothing I can recommend to him.
Wait till at least you're 21. That's what I recommend.
Jay, do you remember?
SARMs are so big now too. It's just like all these kids are taking SARMs. My chiropractor,
a lot of kids are.
Yeah, and it shuts you down too. My chiropractor buddy messaged me the other day. His son just started playing collegiate football, and he's like, "Hey, what does my son need to do? He's breaking out. He's taking Rad 140." I'm like, "Why is he taking Rad 140? It's going to shut him down." He goes, "I go, why wouldn't he just take just testosterone if he's going to take something?" He goes, "Well, he's scared because he gets tested." I go, "Rad is on the ban list. SARMs are on the ban list when they get tested." I go, "Does he not know that?" He goes, "Oh my gosh, no. I need to tell him that." I'm like, "Dude, like these kids they take the SARMs because they're easy to order. They can, they sneak in by with their the credit cards. It comes in a drop or a pill, so their parents really don't know what it is, and then they shut their natural production down." And then their testosterone's low after that. And so, it's these SARMs are, no real bodybuilders are taking SARMs unless they're selling them or, pushing them for their, financial, gain or using their coupon code, but their SARMs are so big and so many people make a lot of money off SARMs.
Let me just make an announcement now. I just signed with a peptide company. So when you see me pushing them.
Yo, but Jay, do you remember the trainer John O'Regan?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still alive or not, but
no, he's dead.
He died. When I used to go to Pump and Iron Gym in Staten Island, when he was training the guys there, he put me on my first
slap.
Yeah, yeah. I heard that rumor that he liked that. But anyway, I remember he put me on my first cycle of Sipinate, if you will. And he used to make me do a quarter of a cc, like of Sipinate. I was 22 years old. A quarter of a cc of Sipinate, like every 3 days or every 2 to 3 days. It was a long time ago.
He wasn't known for his expertise. He was just known for grooming young people who didn't know any better. So he was good at starting, introductory type of programs for people who've never done it before, and, may he rest in peace. I knew him a little differently. You know,
Okay.
I just knew the people that he was working with, and he came up to Diamond a couple times back when John Kemper was alive, and we, you know, the real people were there.
Right.
And you know, he would shuffle in, and you know, he would tell people like, you know, you eat 2 leaves of lettuce with this rice cake, and you know, everything was fucking weird, you know. And he was one of those guys where it was so off the wall that if you didn't know any better, wow, it sounds like there's such a science to it, but there was no science to what he was doing, and you know, people learned afterwards that, all right, he's more of a stepping stone, and he actually helped a few people, you know.
Well,
So
he worked with Dallas McCarver when I think he turned pro at Dallas McCarver. Well, Dallas turned pro with him, rather.
I think
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
But John, all I can say is, John,
Yeah.
we're all your friends. You're with your friends.
Yeah.
Okay, you can tell us what really happened. Come on, let us know.
oh, safe place.
We won't judge you. You want to be a bodybuilder. You said you'd do anything to be a bodybuilder. Tell us the real story.
Right. Well, I had to bite on a stick and bend over and endure the pain.
Oh, you got the pure testosterone injection.
Yeah. So Jay,
you
saying,
want an injectable or sublingual?
So so you think John O'Regan was one of those homosexuals? Is what you're saying, Jay?
John,
it wasn't a secret.
I'm playing dumb. Do you think he was?
He was. He helped a couple of my friends in Texas.
Everybody knew but John.
Oh, I didn't know he fought for the pink team.
No, you did. You're just hiding something. In Vegas, you let us know when you feel safe to tell us the story.
Yeah. Well, you know, when I'm a few drinks in and I'm like, man, that John O'Regan. So go ahead, Armon. What he trained a couple of guys that you knew?
Yeah, one of my best friends, Chris Jolly, that passed away, he was doing his program and he had him on crazy amounts of stuff. You know, when Chris was prepping for the USAs that year, I went over his apartment and I saw his list on the refrigerator and it was insane. It was like 100 milligrams of halotestin, like starting 4 weeks out, and all these orals. And so, you know, a bunch of Cytodrin. So my friend Chris, he was a cover model. He was a good looking kid, you know, but he went to USA's that year competing as a light heavyweight. After prejudging, he started getting sick, throwing up, and his fiance was with him at the time. She was a nurse. So she takes him to the hospital. So all his organs are failing. So he's in ICU about a month up there. And, you know, I'm talking to her because he's intubated. So when he comes back, I was 20 years old. This is when I quit bodybuilding after I won my first 4 shows because I was scared because of what happened to him. And so I went to his apartment and I literally started crying when I saw him. So he came back. I went over his apartment. He was 140 pounds.
Jesus.
He had a cane. All his hair fell out. His eyebrow hair fell out. His eyes were completely bloodshot. I mean, completely red. His skin was scaling and he barely lived. And his leg was like this big. His quad was like this big. And I'm like, surely he's not going to get into bodybuilding after this, you know, after having this scare, because I think it was a Cytodrin that dried him out in Vegas, and then the extreme diuretic use when, you know, Vegas is already so dry.
Now, Armon, what is Cytodrin?
Anti-cortisol.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's an anti-cortisol.
Okay, and why would he need that?
Aminoglutenide. What it does is it lowers your cortisol level and you excrete sodium. It's a way to get rid of water without taking a diuretic, but
and makes your joints hurt.
It makes everything hurt because now you're not producing it shuts your cortisol levels down, so you become asymptomatic. Well, you become symptomatic to histamine, so you could get hives. Your allergic response to things could be worse, but it dries you out. And people were using it when they banned diuretics for those couple years in the pro ranks.
Holy shit, Kensen! You see why I have? You see why I have ons on? Yeah, really. You see why I have ons on, Kensen? Because I don't know this fucking shit. He's like,
they were using it before Arimidex because some people would use it because it was made for Cushing's syndrome, the overproduction of cortisol. So some people would use it for that reason. They would take it like during a lot, you know, like let's say for 6 to 8 weeks. But most people would just take it the last 2 weeks to help them dry out. because it would help people dry out but if you took it too long, like Lee said, I never took it personally myself, but the joints would be crackling, everything would hurt really bad. But once Arimidex came out, obviously that worked much better. The Cytodrin kind of went away. I've used Cytodrin on a couple of my clients, but only for the last 2 weeks. I don't even think they prescribe it anymore. It's not a prescribable drug.
Arimidex is an anti-aromatase. That's an anti-estrogen.
Right.
So that you'll rid water completely different from Cytodrin. I don't think Arimidex replaced Cytodrin. What happened was Cytodrin was used improperly when it first started being used. And what people don't realize is the side effects of Cytodrin was it shrinks and dehydrates the lining of your stomach. So if you take aspirin with it, you could suffer from ulcers, you can get stomach bleeding, you could bleed internally. There was too many risks involved with Cytodrin. There was a proper way to use it. And it was just a few days before the show, but people were cycling it for 6 weeks before. And it made you more susceptible to ligament tears, injuries, muscle tears, and so forth. But it was
Didn't you say Munzer was on a lot of that? Didn't Munzer take it on?
That's what I was about to say.
That's what Munzer was using actually, that's what Munzer was using.
Because didn't he have like internal bleeding and that from all the Cytodrin?
Exactly.
Jesus Christ, man. Wow. And I don't, when people say, boy, the 90s guys were so much more well-conditioned than the guys today. I'm like, now it's like, wow.
Well, the funny thing
all
is,
of us, John, don't.
No,
you fucking liar.
There's not everybody was like Nasser. I took 1 Anadrol a day too. I didn't do more than that. I took 3 cc's of Tren a week. Yeah, that was it. But what people don't realize is, in any sport, you have a level of an athlete, right? And they all have that alpha type of mentality, right? And nothing's going to hurt them. They're indestructible. Everybody's immortal until something happens.
Any extreme sport. I watch those rock climbers and they go up those fucking hanging over the fucking Yosemite Valley or something. No ropes, nothing by their fingertips. I'm thinking, one little slip or cramp, you're falling 500 feet to your death and shit. I'm thinking, even if I was a good rock climber, I'd still want to have a guide rope on me because I ain't taking that risk.
I think those crazy fuckers that jump from the buildings to the buildings. Like, you see all those people.
Parkour. Yeah.
Sure.
How do you even get started? How do you even get started doing that shit? That's nuts.
Robin places, you got to jump from one balcony to the other.
Yeah. Armon, I think there is, you could probably answer this question because you work with a lot of people there's a certain personality of bodybuilders that abuse anabolics this much. I don't know if it's necessarily the fact that they want to be the best of the best. I feel like it's more of an addictive personality than anything else. And I've seen bodybuilders like this, and I've known guys like this, and so on and so forth. And you'll talk to them, and you go, "Yeah, well, you just got to do this and this, and you do that and that, and you do this and this, and on top of this, and this, and it doesn't even kind of register. It's normal to them. It's I don't think it's a competitive personality. It's more of an addictive personality. What do you think, Armon?
Well, John, I've had a lot of people. I'll be coaching them, and let's say after their show, like Lee said, they would come out. Like when I would compete, I would come off 2 to 3 months too. And I'm like, okay, it's time to come off and clean out. And they're like, well, aren't I going to get smaller and softer? I'm like, yes, you are, but you're going to go back on. And they'll go find another coach because I'm like, listen, I'm trying to keep you healthy. I've never had a sick client. And I can't go to good bed at night, like telling you to, well, I'm rebounding. Should I be utilizing more drugs to get growth? I'm like, no, you just prep for a show. You used a lot of toxic compounds. You need to rest your body. Just from the rebound and eating, you're going to grow. And they will go hire another coach that will tell them, yes, it's okay. Let me take your money, just because they want to be told it's okay. I've had so many clients I lost because of that, because I said, hey, it's time to come off. Let's rest. About at least 6 to 8 weeks. Let's get your blood work done. If all your blood work checks out, then we can start again, whether you're off-season program or not. And so many clients will leave. Chad Nichols, when he was coaching Ronnie, I grew up in Arlington, so Ronnie used to come up to the guy that helped me prep for my first show, and so he would come out there, and one day he brought his program that Chad gave him, and he was showing the guy named Herman, and we were all in his little room back there because Herman used to do Ronnie's these site injections for him with this certain stuff. It's a long story, but anyways, we all saw that Herman's like, Ronnie, are you taking all this stuff? Ronnie's like, hell no, I'm only taking half of it. Chad's trying to kill me.
Yeah.
And so Ronnie was only taking half of what Chad Nichols was even telling him to even take. I mean, it was up to 30 clenbuterol on that list towards the end of Olympia prep. Yeah.
I know somebody. I used to know somebody that is married to one of Ronnie Coleman's ex-girlfriends. Owens will probably know him. Well, Luke might know him too, actually. I'll let you know who it is afterwards. And he had told me same thing, only he left out the part that Ronnie made up his own mind and didn't do all that. And he said that the girl showed him the list of drugs that Chad Nichols would give him, and they believed that this is what Ronnie Coleman would take, right? Because this is what he would tell me. Oh, the girl, my wife told me, but first of all, I don't know why you would marry a girl that was married to or dating Ronnie Coleman. I mean, talk about being like second choice. But besides that, they didn't even, and he had me kind of believing that too for a little while because, well, it's like, well, she was with him. She was the most intimate person in his life at the time. But they leave out the idea that, well, you are an individual and you could say, no, I ain't fucking doing that. No fucking way. And there has to come a point in your life. And I did not want this to become a podcast warning people to stop abusing this shit. But there has to come a point in your life where you just say to yourself, this is ridiculous. This is getting to be too much and it's not worth it. I don't even think it's worth competing. I don't even think, like,
especially too, you see the ones who we've all seen them who they will not get a proper job because they want to be a pro bodybuilder. They won't get in a relationship because they want to be a pro bodybuilder. They take all these drugs year after year, try and compete. 15 years later, they're still pumping it in. I'm going to get my pro card. There comes a point where you have to be like, hey, I'm never going to get my pro card. Still enjoy the training, still enjoy going to the gym, but you got to become a realist with yourself and go, no matter what drugs I take, I'm never going to get there. So why keep killing myself to get this goal that's never going to happen? But some people still think they can get there no matter what, and they end up, like I said, doing damage trying to get that goal, which is never going to happen.
If you're destined to be a pro bodybuilder. Did you guys see the picture that Keon put up today of when he was 14? Did you see that, Kensen? Yeah. I mean, he looked like,
I did, yeah.
He was a man child. It was ridiculous. I mean, he was like 14 years old and he was chiseled to the bone. It was like, all right, go ahead, Kensen.
Phil Heath was the same way when he was playing college basketball. He was fucking jacked and he was fucking ripped, man, and he wasn't even trying.
Yeah, there was a guy named Lee Priest too, and he had pictures of
that asshole. Don't talk about that.
Yeah, he's a real douchebag.
Fucking Australians.
But when he was 14, he was jacked. It was insane. Armon, what do you got going in the future, man? What's happening with you? Still just going to continue training people and making that money?
No, I took a break from coaching a lot of competitors just because a lot of them suck a lot of energy out of you. And like I said, it's hard to coach a lot of them. Like the past 2 years, I consulted with 3 top 10 guys about working with them, and like I said, I couldn't work with them just because the amounts of stuff they were taking, and I just knew they weren't going to listen. And I started with one of them, and then I'm not going to name the name, but he's doing really well now. But just the amounts they're taking, and they already have like things they're going to do on their diet that if you tell them something like, oh no, I like to do this instead. I'm like, why do you even hire a coach for it then to change things up? I just my passion was always supplements because I was with Diamond Nutrition. They were out of Dallas when I was with them, and I was their only athlete for like 5 years, and they were a great company at that time until they sold the Post cereal. But I got to know like the whole team, like the manufacturing guys, the guys that did all the packaging. So that was my passion. So I started a small supplement company in 2016, and then we're launching our second supplement company now. And there's not a lot of money in supplements, especially if you're making them right and putting what you want in there. Because I make them exactly how I want to make them. But that's what I just enjoy doing. Like, I'm not trying to get them in the stores like Walmart and all that, because they only want to buy the supplements for the cheapest price that they're going to make the most profit at. But I enjoy the lifestyle people, man. I enjoy, getting somebody that they have low self-confidence, whether I get so many guys, they can't even get dates. Their self-confidence is so low. And, they get in shape and I'm like, hey, we're going to do a show. Oh, there's no way I can compete. And we go do a show and they win. I mean, and their life changes. They get this confidence and they can talk to girls and they can, do all these things. And that makes me happy doing that. So I like working with a lot more lifestyle people.
Do you find it frustrating? This is what I always found frustrating when I tell guys to halve their cycles. They go, I'm not doing that. It's like, to me, it's like, what do you got to lose? If you're going to be in this for the long haul and you're taking this large amount, clean out for a month or two, go back on, use just half of what you're using and see what happens. You probably make the exact same gains. I said, what do you got to lose? If nothing happens, go back to your stupid large amount. But why don't you just try it? You know?
Dorian, did you ever have the opposite happen? Did you ever have like somebody that was afraid to take anything but wanted to? I've had guys like that talk to me all the time.
Oh yeah, plenty. I train natty guys right now, and one of my training partners, he's a natty guy, and I don't know, he's almost delusional in a way. He thinks he's putting all this mass on and making all these gains, and nothing's really changing.
Yeah.
So yeah, the opposite's out there as well. But just like you guys are talking, there's a point of diminishing return. Just like you don't need to take all this shit. Your system's going to get toxic. And I've experienced a few times working with Dave, because Dave would set me some type of protocol out and I would follow it. The next thing you know, I'm getting sick. It's like I'm taking so much trend that I can't fucking breathe. So there's that point of diminishing returns. And some people just aren't smart enough to listen to their own body and be like, hey, this is too much shit.
Mm-hmm. I'd always find that too, even with the small amount I use. Of course, I'd be on it for 16 weeks. Normally that 12-week mark come near the contest, even though I didn't take a lot. Like you said, you just know if your body start to feel a bit off. It's almost like your body feels a bit toxic inside. You just don't feel right. There's just something where you just feel sicker all the time. It's like always that 12, 13-week mark, just even taking small amounts, I'd start getting that feeling where I never done one PCT, anything after a contest. When my show was done, I went off everything. I never took HCG, Clomid, nothing. Really? I just went, boom, that's it, no more.
Holy shit. All right. I think we all should go to Vegas the last week in June.
But the true lesson from this podcast should be, John.
Yeah.
John's told us all the tests he used in this and all the trend and all this. And look at him now, kids. So just don't do it.
It's not
I
worth
love
it.
you, John. I love you.
John looks good.
I'm a sexy bastard, Lee.
Hey,
I'm
don't tell
sexy.
him that. I got to bring him down a bit. Don't think he looks
That's
good.
right. Especially if we're going to be in Las Vegas together, man. Holy shit.
Great. Now I won't be on next week's show. It'll be John and Armon because I won't be looking.
The last week in June, everybody is formally invited. Armon, Luke, Dorian, Kensen. We should all go down. We should all stay in Aria. I know, Dorian, you got to figure out what shows you're going to do first. And actually Luke too, and we're going to all stay at the Aria, and it'll be a blast every day by the pool. We'll be drinking.
Fuck your show, Dorian. Fuck your show, Luke. Just come to Vegas.
And it'll be a fucking blast. And then we could go, Luke, we could go rent a fully automatic fucking AK-47s and shoot up the desert and shit, because there's you could do that in Vegas.
They might not let you do that while you're drunk and still hungover, John.
Really?
Now, what sober party are you going to go do that?
But we could do that. You could race. They have tracks. You could race Lambos and Ferraris. Oh, yeah. It's fucking awesome. I don't know. Kensen, you're going to love it. I'm telling you.
We won't drink. You'll just be on the cocaine. I can drive. Let's go.
You're very alert.
What's his name? The Wolf of Wall Street. I got all the way back and didn't even damage the car.
Yeah. That's probably one of the greatest scenes in movie history ever.
I know. The next morning, the car's totaled.
Yeah, totally. But fuck. When I was about to say something else. See, Lee, you got me all fucked up.
You're probably going to say how good I am and how handsome I look today. Even though I got sunburnt mowing the lawn.
You mow your own lawn?
Fucking electric lawnmower. I don't know how
don't they have Mexicans in Australia? Fuck, who mows
too far to swim, John. Too far to swim.
Shit, you guys are fucked up. All right. Armon, thank you very much. Lee, of course, Luke, Dorian, Kensen, and of course, my boy Arns. Thank you for joining us. Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. We'll be back next week. Later, fellas.
Later, guys.
Later.